Right, we have a moderator. Mike is the target man. So first of all, we'll begin by saying if anyone has a question or a comment, you can do so at any time through the presentation. Raise your hand by pushing number 1, and Mike, our moderator, will see that and bring it to my attention. I am not in the same room or anything like that, but that is the way to communicate. So whenever you have a question or a comment, always feel free to push 1, and Mike will be aware of that. So we'll go ahead and get started. Today's conference is based on a theory that I teach, and it's titled 5 to 1. And the reason that I have it 5 to 1 is that I think that generally managers look for issues that are going on. They think that's their job, is to find out what's going wrong and then correct that issue. One of the things that they do, so let's call that the 5. They think that the main mission is point out everything going wrong, address it. That's the 5 in this ratio. Although, I'm going to lay a challenge out today and say management function is to look for the good as the ratio of 5. So in this example, we want to say that for every 5 things you find that are going right and make a comment on to an employee, you can address 1 thing that's a negative. So we want that ratio to be 5 good things to 1 negative thing that you need to address. Every day, look for the good. Find 5 compliments to 1 improvement needed. I'm going to give you an example of that today, and I'm going to use a technician. So it's not uncommon for a service director, service manager to walk up to a technician and ask them a favor of staying late. Hey, Bill, or could you stay late tonight? Mary needs her car by tomorrow morning. She's going on vacation. We got to get it done. Can you fix the car for another hour tonight? Now let's assume in this example, technician says, fine, I'll stay late. They get the car fixed. Mary's happy, goes on down the road, and there's no compliment there. Let's just in this example say that happens again the following week, and technician's asked to stay, finish Tom's car up, and he always does stay. So he stays late, gets the vehicle completed. Again, no thank you, no compliment, no addressing the in any kind of form the gratitude that should be exhibited. And then the technician the following morning shows up 10 minutes late. And so the manager, hey, I found something going wrong. So the manager comes over and goes, doggone it, you know we start at 8 o'clock here. What are you doing coming in at 8:10? You come in at 8 o'clock, you start at 8, if you're going to work here. Now, I'll guarantee you I am not a mentalist. I do not read minds. But I will guarantee you that technician, as he's walking away from that, is saying one thing in their mind. All right, see if I stay late again. See if I stay late again with that kind of example. And then when the manager does come back, ask that technician again, it comes to the forefront and is refused. You see in this example clearly how it feels. And I would venture to say it wouldn't take you long to find an example in your history, your work history, where something similar has happened, where managers come and given you, for lack of a better word, a challenging conversation about an action that you did that had the similar thought come into your mind. See if I do that again. Or, gosh, I stay late all the time. And then the owner, dealer, principal, whoever, the manager, comes out and criticizes for leaving early one day or another action. I think we all could find examples such as that in our life, in our work history. But here's what I think happens. If the manager was pointing out a ratio of looking, and their challenge was every day to have a 5-to-1 ratio, 5 good things to 1 challenging thing. The same example of the technician, let's take that on the manager side. If he had just complimented this guy regularly for going above and beyond the call of duty, wouldn't the manager be thinking, you know what, he is 10 minutes late today, and that does make me look bad to the other technicians. But doggone it, every time I need him, he stays late to help the company out. Now, isn't that manager going to have a softer response to the technician coming in 10 minutes late? Maybe something like this. Hey, buddy, help me out here. I know you stay late every time I ask you. You pull me out of the fire more than once. And you stay late all the time. But you know what? The other technicians don't see that. They don't see you doing above and beyond the call of duty. They only know that they started 8 and you weren't here to meet that obligation. Would you help me out and show up on time for me? You see, I think the manager's response would be a lot softer because he would recall the compliments that technician had on this concept. You see, ultimately, the manager's function is to take the company and grow it, as well as the customer concerns, right? So we have to deal with the customer concerns. We have to deal with the individual team players. And then we have manufacturers to balance. But in this challenge where we're looking for the good in our people, for the good in our staff, there's one benefit that I can promise you that'll be derived from it. That benefit is the way that they treat your customer. Because believe it or not, the attitude that they have when you portray and you point out the good that they're doing, the attitude towards your clients, your customers, is uplifted. It's positive. It's encouraging. When they feel unrecognized, unappreciated by management and the dealership, do you believe that that's an asset to the way your customers are treated? The short answer is no. We have to, as a management team, have it ingrained in us, all of us. Look for the good. Acknowledge it. Encourage it. And then remember it. When the negative issues do come up, and believe me, I'm not pie in the sky. I know they will. Those issues will come up that need to be addressed. And not for 1 minute am I suggesting that you ignore those. You have to address them. But the mission, the primary focus, is to keep this ratio of 5 good to 1 negative at the peak of your mind, your thought, and your day in, day out activities. Track it. You got your 5 in today? I'll tell you what, if you implement this as a standard practice in your dealership, you will see the results almost immediately. Initially, you might even have a reaction like, gosh, what's up with him? He's actually seeing the stuff I'm doing. One of the saddest things about doing what I do and go around and coaching is that I hear so often, you know what, Rob? You're the only one that ever compliments what's going right. You're the only one that acknowledges the good results. Now, friends, that's sad. That's a sad statement. At the same token, it's the common result of not looking for what's going right and acknowledging it. So I will challenge each and every one of you, implement the 5 to 1. Keep track of your result. Look for the good. Record it. Make it a mission. And remember this, ultimately, it's all good for the company. It's all good for the staff. It's the right thing to do. So take that challenge today, and now we'll open it up for questions about this, or if you have any other issues that you'd like to chat about, feel free to push 1, raise your hand, and then we'll look for that. So, Mike, you can acknowledge that if we have anyone with a question at this time.
Well, if there's no one with any questions, thank you, Tony, Joel, JP, and Bill. Thank you guys for all showing up today. Hopefully I'll send you guys a recording of this, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, and everybody have a good day.